venue too far, any song at every bar, here to cover your needs. Twin Rivers Music Scene.
Hi guys, this is Reed and Madison with the Twin Rivers Music Scene podcast here with Denny Herrin at the DKC Cookers BBQ Cook-Off tent here at Rodeo Austin. Welcome.
Oh, glad to be here.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Good. A little hot, but I'm good.
Yeah, it's a little toasty out there and a little bit in here, but we're making it through.
It's nicer in here.
I know, we've been out of here for a couple hours when we walked in and we're like, dang it, we did not open the vents, so
It's still better.
cool off. Yes, for sure. And Denny just had his set here at the DKC Cookers tent, and you did a great job with Mike
you.
up there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So have you played with Mike before?
I met him as I got on the stage.
Okay, I was wondering because I saw you just kind of sneak in there and I was like, okay, let's do a little change up.
Yeah, we drove in from Round Rock, and then it was like 30 minutes of right here in front of just trying to get to parking.
Mhm.
A lot of people didn't know where they were supposed to be going, I guess. I don't know. But we got there and then, walked up here, and it was probably 30 minutes after I was supposed to be on stage.
Yeah.
So I just kind of snuck in.
I love it. And Miles said that you've been coming out here for quite a while.
Oh yeah, I've been playing up here for the Austin Rodeo BBQ Cook-Off probably 15 or so years. Different barbecue tents over the years. I mean, you just come out here and play to like 5 people in their own little barbecue team tent, and then I developed my band and we played some of the other bigger tents, and so now it's kind of like it's easier to be acoustic and just kind of walk around and play. I can play several tents, or like this year I'm just playing DKC. So pretty good.
Awesome. Well, we're excited we're here too. We're excited to be here, but it's great to interview. So how did you kind of get started in music? I know you said you're from Georgetown.
Yep.
So have you always kind of been in the scene?
So I was born in Austin.
Okay.
And so obviously the title of Austin is Live Music Capital of the World, even though I think it's just concentrated with some music.
Mhm.
It's got some good acts for sure, like very talented people, but it's just so many musicians everywhere. It's just kind of like you can throw a stone and like you're gonna hit a musician,
Right.
So it's not far-fetched to be like from Austin and still be a musician, which everyone calls me like a unicorn because I'm like from there, but actually at a certain level of career-wise. I'm not like taking all the cash to the bank or anything, but so it's I grew up in it, but I didn't get into music. I mean, I was always singing a little bit, like as a kid. I loved singing. And then I dated a girl in high school that got me into like singing in front of people because we were out on like a date and I was singing along to something on the radio and she sang. Like her dad would come set her up at this little place out in Walburg, Texas called Dale's Essen House. And they had these cassettes. And so in Austin, there was North Cross Mall used to have this little studio place where you could go and like they had background music, like the music to the songs, and then you could sing your own voice on top of it on a cassette.
Okay, cool.
And so what her dad had done was bought like 30 of these cassettes that had like one song on them, and he sat behind this little curtain and would switch out the cassettes for her to sing, and she'd sing along to the music.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so it was just interesting because thinking back, like there was a guy sitting over there, like
that was a job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Changing out the tapes. And then so I remember like she had got me a cassette with like one side was George Strait, and the other side was a Tim McGraw song. She's like, "You're gonna sing these. I'm gonna call you up and you're gonna do these at the show." And so I did them, and then I got a good reaction, and I kind of got addicted to that, And well, then we broke up when we went off to different colleges and everything, and I got real depressed. And so my parents and my aunt got together. My aunt gave me her old guitar for Christmas, and my parents got me like 4 guitar lessons. And so I went to go the guitar lessons. I think I was 19 years old, and the teacher, like, I don't know, we didn't agree. And so at the second lesson, I kind of was angry at how it was turning out, and I went home and I just started looking up stuff and taught myself. And hindsight, I probably should have taken all the lessons, or so, but I don't, maybe just not from that guy. But it worked out the way it is, and I'm the stylistically how I play is because of that. And I just sang and just all of everything that was going on in my life, I put it toward music. And so, here we are almost, since I started playing professionally, almost 20 years now. and it's just, that's where it is. That's where it came from. Just putting my mind and thoughts into that, and instead of sitting around being depressed and sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 20 years that you've been in the music industry, how have you seen it change since when you got into it to where you're at now in the industry?
So I remember first I had nobody to tell me how to do anything I was doing, what to do, what's the proper steps you take. I formed my first band. And so probably by like 2008, we went in and spent some money and recorded my first album. But I was under a band that we had called the Just Add Water Band. And it's almost like that was the nail in the coffin, though, because I wrote some songs, we went and recorded this album, and then 2 months later we broke up. And so I joined another band called the Clay Jeffrey Band out of New Braunfels and that area. And that's how I met some of these guys that play around here. And so I released that album, but I didn't know about promotions and paying for like somebody to go out and call the radio stations and all that stuff. I was just doing it myself, and it wasn't working. And so when I joined the Clay Jeffrey Band, their whole idea was like we would join my fans and their fans and just kind of attack at the same deal. And it was silly because after about 6 months, we were still called the Clay Jeffrey Band. And I was like the lead singer.
Mm-hmm.
And so after the show, everyone would be like, man, Clay, good show. And I'm like, I'm not Clay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Denny Herrin. Clay's the long-haired guy with the long fingernails that plays guitar. And Clay was an awesome guitar player, great dude, too, good friend still. But it was almost like, it was like Van Halen for Texas country. And like, I was David Lee Roth, like I'm not Eddie Van Halen. I was the front man. That's what David Lee Roth was in Van Halen. Just a whole different thing though. But like they had it all backwards too. So like we ended up getting out of that band. I went solo, finally become just Denny Herrin. And the guy I had met in the Clay Jeffrey Band was a guy named Gray Legier, who was a drummer. He was from New York. And he was at one time, he was a blue man in the Blue Man Group, like painted
That's
blue
cool.
and everything.
Yeah.
And he had a lot more business knowledge. And so he kind of talked me through like, well, we got to do this. We got to get your branding out. And we got to get your name noticed, and we got to put your songs out front. And we've got to call these radio stations, and we got to put together a one sheet. He had the whole game plan, and it really did change and push my career to another level. But back then, you had to pay like $1,000 just to have like 1,000 copies of a CD.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still have probably 3,000 CDs in my garage.
Yeah.
Wow.
From like every release I've ever done.
Right.
Because it was either pay $600 for 200 or $1,000 for 1,000.
Yeah.
So you did that, I watched it go from CDs to they did little digital, like a business card looking thing with like a QR code.
Yeah.
Where you could get the track and free. And then they went to streaming, Spotify came into place. And now I think I get like 0.01 of a cent, like fraction of a cent for every time it streams. Which is cool. So that's almost like add me to your playlist, or just I was telling Carissa that we go into certain bars. I go over to the jukebox and I'll search my name, not because it's my ego that I'm like, oh, I want to see if my name's there.
You're curious.
I am curious,
Yeah.
but the algorithms they set forth is like who's searching for what's being searched for, and whatever's being searched for, we'll have to at some point. The people are requesting this name, we have to play it.
Yeah.
So I was telling her that the other day. I was like, hey, have you ever wondered why I'm at the jukebox? It's because I'm shamelessly
of course,
trying to search to see if
it's the game.
Like one time I was in there, I was like, oh, score.
Yeah.
Because every once in a while I get like a demographic report from Amazon and Apple and all these places. They show me like who's listening, where they're from. Like I got a bunch of people listening in Norway, apparently.
Okay, that's cool.
Sweden, yeah. And there's a couple of people in Vietnam. That's interesting.
That's incredible.
You should use that as a reason to go tour out there.
Yeah, 2 people out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's probably someone flying over or something. But
Sweet.
yeah, but it's just like that. I can see when someone Shazams like one of my songs, like it's being played, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So all that stuff, like I would have never thought, when I first started playing. For one, when I first started playing, it was I don't want to cry anymore. I just want to play music and be happy.
Yeah.
To playing in backyards, and then to making an album, to writing, and to going on. I remember I went up to Nashville a few times, and I've been up to Steamboat Springs for Music Fest and played up there. Like that was never a dream of mine to do those things. It was just really cool that it happened.
It was just therapeutic for you.
It was great. I mean, it was way better than, crying over some girl that didn't want to be with me. You know?
Absolutely.
And so it just, that was never my outlook, but I'm glad it has ended up where it has. But I've definitely seen the changes of, like, I could probably help some people, like, hey, don't do this.
Well, I was just about to say, since you said that when you started out, you kind of didn't really know which direction to go. You didn't really know a lot. If somebody was starting out in this business, what would be your advice? What would be kind of like the first direction you would give them?
I mean, I would definitely, write a little bit, but don't make writing your main priority, because plenty of people don't write all their songs. George Strait doesn't write any of his songs.
Facts. Cody Johnson doesn't either.
Yeah, and I wish that, to be honest, I wish the stigma on that would go away, where everyone thinks you have to be the songwriter, because I write songs and I think they're all right, but I think I performed some other songs I didn't write even better because they were able to say what I was feeling, and I just portray it.
Right.
And if you're gonna, I guess for the young artist that's getting out there to play and sing, pick songs that mean something to you, not just because it's a top 40 popular song. You know, like, just because this song's being played on the radio and it's a great song, if it doesn't apply to you, like, you're just going through the motions. You're just kind of singing the thing. But if you believe in it and it actually attaches to you, when you sell it, when you sing it, people are going to think it's your own. You know, they're going to go, "Well, did you write that?" Because, it's like, no, I didn't. Well,
I feel like that's probably the best compliment in the world, is like somebody asking you, like, this incredible song that you just covered, be like, did you write that? Because you portrayed it and you feel it and you sold it.
And that's, to me, that's what everyone should focus on.
Yeah.
If everyone would focus on that, I think we'd see changes in what we have to listen to and what we relate to, and, like, just the quality of music in general. Like, going out to anywhere where there's live music, like, half the time I'm sitting there like, okay, good, here we go. Here's their version of Silver Wings. Just because they're at some old honky tonk or something, that's what the people want to hear. But I wish that they wouldn't just want to hear a song because that's a good song. I wish they'd want to hear it because that person does a really good job of it.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of where I stand. Like, there's plenty of songs, like, I don't really care for, but sometimes I've thought that, and then I hear someone do it, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. That's really, like, now I understand why that song exists.
Yeah.
And you just sold it to me, you know? And then there's sometimes I'm like, why are we hearing this again? You know? But that's just, those people are just, they learned how to play guitar or something, and they can do it, which is great. But that's all they're showing off, is that they can do just that. You know,
a party track.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Do you play any instruments other than guitar?
My first instrument was the harmonica.
Okay, nice.
So I started on the harmonica, and I could whistle pretty good. I play the guitar. I can play a little bit of mandolin and a little bit of bass.
Nice.
I took percussion in the 6th grade, so, like, I was first chair on the pad and the xylophone, so I can do a little bit of rhythm and just a slight beat on percussion type stuff. But.
Awesome. How would you describe your sound if nobody's ever been to your show?
I would say that's definitely country roots, but I cover songs like Boys to Men too, like stuff like that. That people are they're unexpected, when I do that. But it's more soul, roots country, soul. I don't know, like hill country. I'm from around here, so it's in my voice. You know, I just can't get away from that. My mom's from Kentucky, and so she has, she calls a creek a crick.
I love that.
And so some of that rubs off too, and I guess some of that background from her and how she, I was raised and stuff. My dad's a real patient, man's man, kind of hardworking, worked construction trade his whole life, and so all that rubs off on me, and that's why I'm kind of a mix of all those things.
Well, I know you were talking about kind of like selling covers. What is one song that you cover that you wish you would have wrote?
Enough Rope by Chris Knight.
Okay.
I think it's about my life almost to the T. Otherwise, performance-wise, not just lyrically, performance-wise, Adam Hood has several songs I just am in love with. Way Too Long, or probably half of the songs that he's written, I probably wish I wrote.
You played that in the last set, right?
I did.
Yeah, I noticed that. I love Adam Hood too.
Well, so there's Mike was the other guy.
Mike loves Adam Hood too.
Yeah, so I was like, I was out and about over there, and I was like, I didn't know which one of y'all was playing it, but I think it was you.
Yeah. So because when I came on, I was just like, dude, almost like my first song soundcheck when I did a Chris Knight song, and I love Chris Knight. and he went right back and did a Chris night after. I was like, well, this would be fun. Now, if we, because then when you get another musician that's familiar with the same type of material, it's cool because then you can be like, we're gonna do this set. We're gonna do these guys. We're gonna do these guys. And so we did the Chris night right after. I was all right, well, this could be fun. Because sometimes whenever I do like a song like that, they turn over, they're like, man, I've never heard a song like that. And I'm like, all right, well, this is gonna be.
We're two very different.
I'm gonna be too snobby now. Or something. I feel like
what are you doing? What are you listening to?
Why are we on the same stage? No, just kidding. I never do that. But it's like there's that little bit of a, oh, this is gonna be cool. So he did that. Then he came. He did Buzzes Like Neon, which is an Adam Hood song. And I was like, well, I'm gonna do an Adam Hood song too.
Perfect.
But it allows me to showcase like where I can go with my voice and stuff. So.
And are you playing full band and acoustic pretty regularly, or which one do you do more?
I do full band about once a month, maybe once every other month right now. I'm not pushing an album or anything new right now. So financially, it makes more sense for me to just stay relevant and be an acoustic and keep my name out there. As I go in the studio and make another album, have something to promote and push for the full band, then you'll probably see more of that in the next year.
Awesome.
Do you have any shows coming up that you want to tell everybody?
If you're in the Austin area, so like Round Rock to Georgetown up that way, because I live in Georgetown. I play every other Tuesday at the Long Branch Saloon in downtown Round Rock. I play one of my sponsors, Iron Wolf Ranch and Distillery. They make Iron Wolf bourbon and
Love.
Yeah. I play there every other month, a third Saturday of every month. So I'll be there the 15th of this month. So next Saturday is the third Saturday, I believe. Anyway, whatever the third Saturday is, she's looking at me.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes, the 15th. So March 15th, I'll be out at Iron Wolf Ranch and Distillery for like 2 to 5. And I play there, it's like, I guess third Saturday every other month.
Okay, cool.
I hate the every other thing because then I'm like, well, what month are we in?
Yeah.
And
you're like,
But if anybody goes out there, they have the signature drink called the Herrin Highball that they named after me, and it's because I came out there like hadn't eaten in like 2 days, and like I get my whiskey and Coke, and I was like starving, and I was like, I'm not get to eat for a while. Can y'all get me whiskey Coke with all the fruit from the bar thing and throw it in there so I can at least snack on the fruit,
Wait, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I've like never heard anything like that. Was it good?
It was delicious. And so they made the drink. It's called the Herrin Highball, and it's literally it's just a bourbon and Coke with like sometimes there's a blackberry in there and like sometimes there's a tomato in there. But
is there only like one thing in there?
No. It's like a little bit like an orange and a lemon and like a green olive sometimes. They're just like all mixed in there, but the bourbon and Coke is so good. Like, it's just like, it's really just having like a little cup of fruit with your bourbon and Coke.
That's so funny. I love it. Okay, well, plug yourself so people know where to follow you and keep up with everything you've been doing and working on, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. So, DennyHerrin.com is the website. You can find me Instagram at Denny Herrin Band or at Denny Herrin. And then also Facebook, same thing. I don't know if anybody uses what's the X Twitter, whatever that
Twitter
is.
X.
Something like
yeah,
that.
we don't really know either.
Yeah,
just use both. Yeah.
All my music you can find on Spotify, Pandora, that radio station, Amazon, Apple Music. It's all the above. You can find me there. I also Shooters in Cedar Park. I play there. That one's every other month too. I don't think I'll be there though until April 19th. Yeah. So that's a full band show for that one. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us on the podcast. We
Sure.
loved having you. We'd love if you'd sign our banner too.
For sure, we'll sign it.
Anywhere you want.
All right, we'll put it right here on the tee.
Amazing. Love it. Well, thank you again. And I guess stay tuned, everybody, for more interviews.
We're going to go eat some more barbecue at the cook-off.
Heck yeah.
So thank you, Denny. And y'all go check his music out.
Bye. Cheers. Bye.
No venue too far, any song at every bar, here to cover your needs. Twin Rivers Music Scene.